Governor Ingves, you say in the report that financial stability risks have increased lately. Why is that?
Well, those risks have increased not a bit, and there are two parts to it. One is the general macro conditions in the world, because things are a little bit slower than in the past. But that's in combination with a higher likelihood than in the past for rates to stay very, very low for a long, long time. And that means that in that environment, one has to keep an eye on the risk-taking that's going on so that we don't end up with excessive risks.
Yes, you're pointing to the risks with the low interest rates. So is it fair to say that monetary policy in recent years has added to stability risks?
Well, in the sense that rates are low and they are staying low for a long time. On the one, that's part of it, and that makes it cheaper to borrow. But on the other hand, we certainly keep an eye on that, and you can partly compensate for those things by using macroprudential policies.
Should monetary policy start taking this factor in?
Well, that's part of the debate that has been going on for quite a while now. But let's keep in mind also that it was a very difficult exercise to deal with the global financial crisis and to get inflation up after that. So the conditions are sort of unusual in the sense that no one expected these rates to stay for as long as they seem to stay now, and we just have to live with that and accept it.
So now you're expecting to hike in December. So what does that mean for financial stability?
Well, time will tell. I mean, we talked monetary policy a few weeks ago, but in general, when it comes to that, given the openness of the Swedish economy, our rates will roughly stay where many other rates are. So essentially, rates will stay long for quite a while.
You're also seeing liquidity risks to the banking sector.
Yeah, that's correct. So in this report, we have done substantial stress testing on the liquidity side. Usually when you talk about stress testing, you talk about solvency issues, but this time we have focused on liquidity, and that's because liquidity is incredibly important, because if the system stops, that's where it starts first.
And on money laundering, Swedish state television today published new revelations against Swedbank, saying it may have breached US sanctions against Russia. How worried are you about this series of allegations against Swedish banks?
Well, I can't judge when it comes to individual institutions, when it comes what they have done or not done when it comes to money laundering. But we certainly have some homework to do in our corner of the world, and that's well known by now. It will take a while to get our house in order.
What could the implications be for financial stability?
In the long run, if nothing is done, then that will, of course, hurt our banks and other people's view on us, and that's not a good thing. So, given that we do our homework, this can be fixed, but it can't be fixed overnight. So it will take a while actually, both to deal with these issues domestically, but I think more importantly to deal with the cross-border issues that arise from where we have ended up.
Is the Riksbank in dialogue with the FSA on this?
Well, I mean, we are always in dialogue with the FSA on many different issues, but when it comes to the formalities of this, and I think that's important, it's up to them to deal with the individual cases.
And the FSA, they have flagged that they are adding resources to fight money laundering. Do you think this is enough, what's being done?
It's hard to tell. It's probably proper to do that and ask for more resources on their side. I think that in addition to that, it's not only an issue of resources at the FSA, it's probably an issue of resources in the whole region.
The quality flaws that Statistics Sweden has admitted to when it comes to the unemployment data, is that a threat to stability as well?
No.
No. So Swedish economic data can be trusted?
That you should ask the statisticians, but we certainly don't have an issue with it today.
You also mentioned climate change as a risk for the financial system.
Yeah, it's something that needs more focus than in the past, and there are many issues that go with that. And we just wanted to raise this issue and point it out, and just say that we are part of the process. But a lot of international work and international cooperation will have to take place in order to better understand what's going on and to agree on data in such a way that we can pass reasonable judgments on what to think about in these terms when it comes to financial stability.